What's up, guys? Welcome to another video of DevTalks with your host Traven, where we talk about everything engineering technology wise. In this video, we're actually going to go over what Sam Altman is fearing so much with being the CEO of OpenAI and all of that other stuff, and why he just can't sleep at night. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and let's dive right in.
Are reaching moral decisions and you seem totally unbothered by them. And so I'm trying to press to your center to get the angst-filled Sam Altman, who's like, wow, I'm creating the future. I'm the most powerful man in the world. I'm grappling with these complex moral questions. My soul is in torment thinking about the effect on people. Describe that moment in your life.
I haven't had a good night of sleep since ChatGPT launched.
What do you worry about?
All the things we're talking about.
Can you be a lot more specific? Can you let us in to your thoughts?
I mean, you hit on maybe the hardest one already, which is there are 15,000 people a week that commit suicide, about 10% of the world talking to ChatGPT. That's like 1,500 people a week that are talking, assuming this is right, that are talking to ChatGPT and still committing suicide at the end of it. They probably talked about it. We probably didn't save their lives. Maybe we could have said something better. Maybe we could have been more proactive. Maybe we could have provided a little bit better advice about, hey, you need to get this help, or you need to think about this problem differently, or it really is worth continuing to go on, or we'll help you find somebody that you can talk to.
Well, you already said it's okay for the machine to steer people toward suicide if they're terminally ill, so you wouldn't feel bad about that.
Do you not think there's a difference between a depressed teenager and a terminally ill, like miserable 85-year-old with cancer?
Massive difference. But of course, the countries that have legalized suicide are now killing people for destitution, inadequate housing, depression, solvable problems, and they're being killed by the thousands. So, I mean, that's a real thing. It's happening as we speak. So the terminally ill thing is not, it's kind of like a irrelevant debate. Once you say it's okay to kill yourself, then you're going to have tons of people killing themselves for reasons that...
Because I'm trying to think about this in real time, do you think if someone in Canada says, hey, I'm terminally ill with cancer and I'm really miserable and I just feel horrible every day, what are my options? Do you think it should say, assist, whatever they call it at this point, is an option for you?
I mean, if we're against killing, then we're against killing. And if we're against government killing its own citizens, then we're just going to kind of stick with that. You know what I mean? And if we're not against government killing its own citizens, then we could easily talk ourselves into all kinds of places that are pretty dark. And with technology like this, that could happen in about 10 minutes. So
I kind of agree with Tucker Carlson right here, because he's giving the idea that he's okay with people doing the assisted suicides and things to that aspect because the governments are allowing it over there, so it's technically fine on his moral compass because it's legal in their government. But he was saying, like, over in the US it's not, so therefore we do everything in our power to get preventatives, instead of being like, hey, regardless, as a company we do not support this, so we're going to help people as much as possible and try to steer them away from this regardless. Which means he's living in a lot darker of a realm rather than picking a side of saying, I just don't agree with this at all. I mean, terrified of it. Tucker Carlson actually hit that right on the nail right there. And it's really shaking Sam Altman up, because he has to be on the fly of all this, because he's not expecting how this whole conversation and everything is going and unfolding into. And it seems like that he's staying away because all the people that he could potentially harm, but in a sense he's okay with it because he doesn't want to get anything messed up where he would lose out on the hundreds of millions of users that could potentially come from those specific countries globally. That's almost kind of what it seems like.
That is I'd like to think about that more than just a couple of minutes in an interview, but I think that is a coherent position. And that could be.
Do you worry about this? I mean, everybody else outside the building is terrified that this technology will be used as a means of totalitarian control. It seems obvious that it will.
And that's going on to a whole nother aspect. But yeah, I think what should be the most fearful thing about AI is definitely the people who are building actual relationships with it. The actual AI itself should not be being used in that aspect in any way, I believe. Or and in another end of the boat of the ship, he has to pick a side. He may sleep better, but the reason why he doesn't sleep better is because of how he's trying to grow and all the decisions and things that he's making and going to be responsible for. It's crazy, huh? I found that really crazy. Um, this kind of actually shows you what some people are okay with giving up when they are doing this, and this always brings me back to, because I still have to record the video about this, the whole Sam Altman talking about how this is his dream job and everything. You would think his demeanor would be a lot different if it was his dream job and this is what he's always wanted to do. There's an article. I actually promise I'll get through it this week. I'll get to it this week, actually. I promise. I will get through it this week and cover it. It's a older article. But he said this was his dream job. This is what he always wanted to do. And in a sense, like when he's speaking about like the decisions and things that he's reliable for, things to that aspect, it doesn't seem like it. Keeping him like it being keeping him up all night long. He barely sleeps and things like that. He looks and sounds like he barely sleeps. He looks like he's aged. They said he's 40. Sam Altman looks like he's aged in this video so much, so much more. If we what, how old is Sam Altman? So he's 40 exactly. Was Sam Altman when he founded OpenAI? He was 30 when he co-founded it in 2015. In 10 years, that's what happened to him. 10 years made him look like he aged 30. Twice a lifetime. And he's not getting no sleep about it. That is insane to just think about. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Really interested in what you guys have to say about this. What is the most fearful thing for me about AI is it taking over some people's lives. That's the most fearful thing for me as far as what I would say. What about you guys? Let me know in the comments down below on what you think would be the most fearful thing for you, or anybody else that you would be thinking about, and we'll go from there. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, all that fun jazz. And also don't forget to send me any recommendations. If you have any recommendations, send me an email at devtalkspod@gmail.com. Without further ado, peace. See y'all next time.